All right, we have more news coming in at this point in time, and this has got to do with Russia and the attack on the country. Russia has now released a video of a counter-strike on Ukraine. The Russian video of rocket barrage on Ukraine. Russia says Ukraine's army's Kharkiv arms depot has been razed down. After massive Ukrainian drone strikes, Russia launching new wave of attacks. Ruslan Bortnik, director of the Ukrainian Institute of Politics, joining us from Kiev at this point in time. Thank you for your time, and I hope that I'm pronouncing your name right. I just want to ask you at this point in time, that Ukraine and Russia are set for talks. How is this escalation then? And how are you viewing this escalation when there are direct peace talks in Istanbul?
Of course, Ukrainian strike had not also military goals, but also political goals. And it was an attempt from Ukrainian side to break the perception of this war as a war in which Russia is winning. So after this strike, Ukraine believes that the Ukrainian position will be stronger and the Russian position during the talks will be weakened. And because of these strikes, because Ukraine showed very clearly our military abilities and our military abilities also to dissolve the Russian strategic forces, Russian nuclear forces in this situation. But you are right. You're right. I'm also sure that Russia will answer somehow. And this Russian answer will be prepared after this negotiation stage, and Russia will try to re-establish the balance and its own reputation in the eyes of the world. So it means a new way of escalation, military and political escalation.
All right, I'll just come back to you in a moment from now. We have more related developments, and let's tell our viewers a little about that. Ukraine at this point in time has claimed heavy damage to Russian military. Ukraine has destroyed 372 Russian planes, is what the country is claiming, 336 choppers, 3,271 missiles destroyed, says Ukraine. 28 warships, 10,000 tanks have been damaged, and the part of Ukraine has inflicted this damage on Russia. Ruslan, I want to come back to you for a little more on what do you expect is to happen soon, because here is a warning from the United States of America saying that we will walk away if the peace deal isn't reached.
I'm waiting for a huge political escalation during this negotiation stage today in Istanbul. I think this Ukrainian strike on the Russian strategic fleet, air fleet, will lead to the increasing of Russian demands on Ukraine during the negotiation, because Russia will try to rebalance the situation in the informational and political side. So I'm waiting for today's a very hard dialogue with very high ultimatums from both sides in Istanbul, and the attempts from United States to make this absolutely different positions of the sides, Russia and Ukraine, to make it closer. And the United States will try to play the role of arbiter, of judge in this situation. But it will be also very hard. So I think I have very deep concerns that this stage of negotiation could be a last stage of negotiation for a long time. Because after the change in this position and ultimatums, after the show of these ultimatums, it will be extremely hard to find some balance, to find some common position. But also I'm looking for developing of a negotiation infrastructure. What do I mean? I mean that maybe today in Istanbul we will see the establishing of a new subgroups on humanitarian issues, on security issues, on military issues, which will be used also like a small sub-platforms for negotiation in a very narrow topics. Let's see, but it doesn't look that both sides are ready to make deep concessions. It doesn't look that both sides are ready to make a compromise for nowadays. And I'm still waiting for a military and political escalation.